hostages I have, so have you mine, and we shall talk before we fight.
Most meet that first we come to words, and therefore have we our written purposes before us sent, which if thou hast considered, let us know if it will tie up thy discontented sword, and carry back to Sicily much tall youth that else must perish here.
To you, all three, the senators alone of this great world, chief factors for the gods, I do not know wherefore my father should revengers want, having a son and friends. Since Julius Caesar, who at Philippi the good Brutus ghosted, there saw you laboring for him. What was't that moved pale Cassius to conspire? And what made the all-honored, honest Roman Brutus to drench the Capitol? But that they would have one man, but a man. And that is it hath made me rig my navy, at whose burthen the angered ocean foams, with which I meant to scourge the ingratitude that despiteful Rome cast on my noble father.
Take your time.
Thou canst not fear us, Pompey, with thy sails. We'll speak with thee at sea. At land, thou knowest how much we do account thee.
Be pleased to tell us, for this is from the present, how you take the offers we have sent you.
You have made me offer of Sicily, Sardinia, and I must rid all the sea of pirates, then to send measures of wheat to Rome. This agreed upon to part with unhacked edges and bear back our charges undinted.
That's our offer.
Know then, I came before you here, a man prepared to take this offer. But Mark Antony put me to some impatience. Though I lose the praise of it by telling, you must know, when Caesar and your brother were at blows, your mother came to Sicily and did find her welcome friendly.
I have heard it, Pompey, and am well studied for a liberal thanks, which I do owe you.
Let me have your hand. I did not think, sir, to have met you here.
Oh, the bed's in the east is soft. And thanks to you that called me timely to my purpose hither, for I have gained by it.
Since I saw you last, there is a change upon you.
Well, I know not what Count's harsh fortune casts upon my face, but in my bosom shall she never come to make my heart her vessel.
Well met here.
I hope so, Lepidus. Thus we are agreed. I crave our composition may be written and sealed between us.
That's the next to do.
Now, we'll feast each other ere we part, and let's draw lots who shall begin.
Oh, that will I, Pompey, eh?
No, Antony, take the lot. But first or last, your fine Egyptian cookery shall have the fame. I have heard that Julius Caesar grew fat with feasting there.
You've heard much.
I have fair meaning, sir.
And fair words to them.
Then so much have I heard. And I have heard Apollodorus
No
carried
more of that. He did so.
What, I pray you?
A certain queen to Caesar in a mattress.
I know thee now. How farest thou, soldier?
Well, and well am like to do, for I perceive 4 feasts are toward.
Let me shake thy hand. I never hated thee. I have seen thee fight when I have envied thy behavior.
Sir, I never loved you much, but I have praised ye when you well deserved 10 times as much as I have said you did.
Enjoy thy plainness. It nothing ill becomes thee. Aboard my galley, I invite you all. Will you lead, lords?
Show us the way, sir.
Come.
Thy father, Pompey, would now have made this treaty. You and I have known, sir.
At sea, I think.
We have, sir.
You have done well by water.
And you by land.
I will praise any man who will praise me. We came hither to fight with you.
For my part, I'm sorry it is turned to a drinking. Pompey doth this day laugh away his fortune.
If you do, be sure he cannot weep it back again.
You've said so. We look not for Mark Antony here. Pray you, is he married to Cleopatra?
Caesar's sister is called Octavia.
True, sir. She was the wife of Caius Marcellus.
But she is now the wife of Marcus Antonius.
Ah, pray, sir.
'Tis true.
And is Caesar and he forever knit together?
If I were bound to divine of this unity, I would not prophesy so. Octavia is of a wholly cold and still conversation.
Who would not have his wife so?
Antony. He will to his Egyptian dish again. Then shall the signs of Octavia blow the fire up in Caesar.
Come, sir. Will you aboard? I have a health for you.
I shall take it, sir.
Come, let's away.
do they, sir? They take the flow of the Nile by certain scales in the pyramid. They know by the height. The higher Nile swells, the more it promises. As it ebbs, the seedsman upon the slime and ooze scatters his grain and shortly comes to harvest.
You strange serpents there.
I leopardess.
Your serpent in Egypt is bred of your mud by the operation of your sun. So is your crocodile.
They are so. Sit, have some wine. A health for Lepidus.
I'm not so well as I should be, but I'll ne'er out.
Not till you have slept. I fear me you'll be in till then.
Nay, certainly. I have heard the Ptolemy's pyramises are very goodly things. Without contradiction, I have heard that.
Pompey, a word.
Say, my dear, what is it?
Take thy seat, I do beseech thee, Captain, and hear me speak a word.
Forbear me till anon. This wine for Lepidus.
What manner of thing is your crocodile?
It is shaped, sir, like itself. It is as broad as it hath breadth. It is just so high as it is. It moves with its own organs. It lives by that which nourishes it, and the elements, once out of it, it transmigrates.
What color is it of?
Of its own color.
Strange, sir.
It is so. And the tears of it are wet. Oh, these quicksands, lepers, keep off.
Right, from that stoop.
I think thou art mad! Be jolly lords! The matter?
Wilt thou be lord of all the world?
What saidst thou?
Wilt thou be lord of the whole world? That's twice.
Hast thou drunk well?
These three world sharers, these competitors are in thy vessel. Let me cut the cable, and when we are put off, fall to their throats. All there is thine. This thou shouldst have done, another spoke on't.
In me 'tis villainy, and thee had been good service. Being done unknown, I should have found it afterwards well done, but must condemn it now. 'Tis this, and drink.
For this, I'll never follow thy palled fortunes more.
For Lepidus!
There's a strong fella, Minas.
Why?
That bears a third part of the world, man. Sees not?
This is not yet an Alexandrian feast. It ripens towards it. Here's to Caesar.
I could well forbear it. It is monstrous labor when I wash my brain and it grows fouler.
Be a child of the time.
My brave emperor, shall we dance now the Egyptian bacchanal and celebrate our drink?
Let's have it, good soldier. Let's all take hands till that the conquering wine had steeped ourselves in soft and delicate liquor.
What would you more? Pompey, good night. Good brother, let me request you off. Our graver business frowns at this levity. Stronginobarb is weaker than the wine, and mine own tongue splits what it speaks.
I'll try you on the shore and shout.
Can't keep you full, man. Who says that there's me captain?
What, are the brothers parted?
I've dispatched with Pompey. He is gone. The other three are sealing. Octavia weeps to part from Rome. Caesar is sad. And Lepidus, since Pompey's feast, as Minos says, is troubled with the green sickness.
It is a noble Lepidus.
A very fine one. Oh, how he loves Caesar.
No further, sir.
You take from me a great part of myself. Use me well in't. Sister, prove such a wife as my thoughts make thee. Most noble Antony, let not the piece of virtue which is set betwixt us as the cement of our love to keep it builded be the ram to batter the fortress of it.
Make me not offended in your distrust.
I have said.
You shall not find the least cause for what you seem to fear. So, the gods keep you, and make the hearts of Romans serve your ends. We will here part.
Farewell, my dearest sister. Fare thee well. The elements be kind to thee, and keep thy spirits all of comfort. Fare thee well.
My noble brother.
Oh, the April's in her eyes. It is love's spring, and these the showers to bring it on. Be cheerful.
Look well to my husband's house, and
What, Octavia?
I'll tell you in your ear.
Her tongue will not obey her heart, nor will her heart inform her tongue. The swan's down feather that stands upon the swell at full of tide, and neither way inclines.
Will Caesar weep?
He has a cloud in his face.
Well, the worse for that were he a horse, so is he being a man.
Why, Enobarbus, when Antony found Julius Caesar dead, he cried almost to roaring. And he wept when at Philippi he found Brutus slain.
And that year, indeed, he was troubled with a rheum.
No, sweet Octavia, you shall hear from me still. The time shall not outgo my thinking of you.
Sir, come, I'll wrestle with you in my strength of love. Look, thus I have you. Now I let you go and give you to the gods.
Adieu. Be happy.
Let all the number of the stars give light to thy fair way.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Where is the fellow?
Half appeared to come.
Go to. Come hither, sir.
Most gracious Majesty.
Didst thou behold Octavia?
I, dread queen.
Where?
Madam, in Rome I looked her in the face and saw her led between her brother and Mark Antony.
Is she as tall as me?
She is not, madam.
Didst hear her speak? Is she shrill-tongued or low?
Madam, I heard her speak. She is low-voiced.
That's not so good. You cannot like her long.
Like her? Oh, Isis, 'tis impossible.
I think so, Carmen. Dull of tongue and dwarfish. What majesty is in her gait? Remember, if e'er thou look'st on majesty,
She creeps. Her motion and her station are as one. She shows a body rather than a life, a statue than a breather.
is this certain?
Oh, I have no observance.
We in Egypt cannot make better note.
He's very knowing, I do perceive it. There's nothing in her yet. The fellow has good judgment.
Excellent.
A guess at her years, I prithee.
Madam, she was a widow.
Widow. Carmen Hart.
And I do think she's 30.
Bearest thou her face and mind? Is long or round?
Round, even to faultiness.
And for the most part, too, they are foolish that are so. Her hair, what color?
Brown, madam. And her forehead as low as she would wish it.
There's gold for thee. Thou must not take my former sharpness ill. I will employ thee back again. I find thee most fit for business. Go make thee ready. Our letters are prepared.
A proper man.
Indeed, he is so. I repent me much that so I harried him. Why, methinks by him, this creature is no such thing.
Nothing, madam.
The man hath seen some majesty and should know.
Have ye seen majesty? Isis else defend and serving you so long.
I have one more thing to ask him yet, good Carmion, but 'tis no matter. Thou shalt bring him to me where I will write. All may be well enough.
I warrant you, madam.
Nay, Octavia, not only that were excusable, but he hath waged new wars against Pompey, made his will and read it to public ear, spoke scantly of me when perforce he could not but pay me terms of honor.
Oh, my good lord, believe not all. Or if you must believe, stomach not all. The more unhappy lady, if this division chance, ne'er stood between, praying for both parts. The good gods will mock me presently when I shall pray, "Oh, bless my lord and husband." Undo that prayer by crying out as loud, "Oh, bless my brother." Husband, win brother, prays and destroys the prayer. No midway twixt these extremes at all.
Gentle Octavia, let your best love move to that point which seeks best to preserve it. If I lose mine honor, I lose myself. But otherwise, not yours and yours, so branched us. But, as you requested, yourself shall go between us. In the meantime, lady, I'll raise the preparation of a war that shall stain your brother. Make your soonest haste. So, your desires are yours.
Thanks to my lord. The Jove of power make me most weak, your reconciler. Wars twixt you twain would be as if the world should cleave, and that slain men should solder up the rift.
When it appears to you where this begins, turn your displeasure that way. For our faults can never be so equal that your love can equally move with them. Provide you going, choose your own company, and command what cost your heart as mine do.
Oh, no, friend Eros.
There's strange news come, sir.
What, man?
Caesar and Lepidus have made wars upon Pompey.
This is old. What is the success?
Caesar, having made use of Lepidus in the wars against Pompey, presently denied him rivality, would not let Lepidus partake in the glory of the action, and not resting here, accuses him of letters he had formerly wrote to Pompey. Upon his own appeal, seizes him. So the poor third is up. Till death enlarge his confine.
Where's Antony?
He's walking in the garden, thus, and spurns the rush that lies before him, cries, "Fool, Lepidus," and threats the throat of that his officer that murdered Pompey.
Our great knave is rigged.
For Italy and Caesar.
Contemning Rome, he has done all this, and more in Alexandria. Here's the manner of it. In the marketplace, on a tribunal silvered, Cleopatra and himself in chairs of gold were publicly enthroned. At their feet sat Caesarion, whom they call great Julius' son, and all the unlawful issue that their lust since then hath made between them. Unto her he gave the establishment of Egypt, made her of Lower Syria, Cyprus, Libya, absolute queen.
This in the public eye.
In the common showplace, where they exercise. His sons he there proclaimed the kings of kings. Great Media, Parthia, and Armenia he gave to Alexander. To Ptolemy assigned Syria, Cilicia, and Phoenicia. She in the habiliments of the goddess Isis that day appeared, and oft before gave audience as his reported so.
Let Rome be thus informed.
The people know it, and have now received his accusations.
Who does he accuse?
Caesar. And that having in Sicily Sextus Pompeius spoiled, we had not rated him his part of the isle. That is, he say he lent me some shipping unrestored. Lastly, he frets that Lepidus of the triumvirate should be deposed, and being that, we detain all his revenue.
Sir, this should be answered.
'Tis done already, and the messenger gone. I have told him Lepidus was grown too cruel, that he his high authority abused, and did deserve his change. For what I have conquered, I grant him part. But then in his Armenia and other of his conquered kingdoms, I demand the like.
He'll never yield to that.
Nor must not then be yielded to in this.
Hail, Caesar, and my lord. Hail, most dear Caesar.
That I should ever call thee castaway.
You have not called me so, nor have you cause.
Why have you stolen upon us thus? You come not like Caesar's sister. The wife of Antony should have an army for an usher, and a knave of horse to tell of her approach long ere she did appear. The trees by the way should have borne men, and expectation fainted, longing for what it had not. Nay, the dust should have ascended to the roof of heaven, raised by your populous troops. But you are come a market maid to Rome.
Good my lord, to come thus was I not constrained, but did it of my free will. My lord Mark Antony, hearing that you prepared for war, acquainted my grieved ear withal, whereon I begged his pardon for return.
Which soon he granted, being an obstruct between his lust and him.
Do not say so, my lord.
I have eyes upon him, and his affairs come to me on the wind. Where is he now?
My lord, in Athens.
No, my most wronged sister. Cleopatra hath nodded him to her. He hath given his empire up to a whore, who now are levying the kings of the earth for war. He hath assembled Bocchus, the king of Libya, Archelaus of Cappadocia, Philadelphus, king of Paphlagonia, the Thracian king Adalas, King Malchus of Arabia, king of Punt, Herod of Jewry, Mithridates, king of Commagene, Polemon and Amyntas, the kings of Mede and Lycaonia, with a more larger list of scepters.
I me most wretched, that have my heart parted betwixt two friends that do afflict each other.
Welcome to Rome. Nothing more dear to me. You are abused beyond the mark of thought. And the high gods, to do you justice, make their ministers of us and those that love you. Best of comfort. And ever welcome to us.
Welcome, lady.
Welcome, dear madam. Each heart in Rome does love and pity you. Only the adulterous Antony, most large in his abominations, turns you off and gives his potent regiment to a trull that noises it against us.
Is it so, sir?
Most certain. Sister, welcome. Pray you be ever known to patience. My dearest sister.
I will be even with thee, doubt it not.
Why?
Thou hast forspoke my being in these wars, and sayest it is not fit.
Well, is it?
If not denounced against us, why should not we be there in person?
Your presence needs must puzzle Antony. Take from his heart, take from his brain, from his time, what should not then be spared. He is already traduced for levity, and 'tis said in Rome that in eunuch and your maids manage this war.
Sink Rome and their tongues rot that speak against us. A charge we bear of the wars, and as the president of my kingdom will appear there for a man.
Yes.
I speak not against it. I will not stay behind.
Nay, I have done. Here comes the emperor.
Is it not strange, Canidius, that from Tarentum and Brundusium he should so quickly cut the Ionian Sea and take in Torone? You've heard on it, sweet.
Celerity is never more admired than by the negligent.
A good rebuke, which might have well become the best of men to taunt and slackness. Canidius, we will fight with him by sea.
By sea, what else?
Why will my lord do so?
For that he dares us to it.
And as my lord dared him to single fight.
Aye, and to wage this battle at Pharsalia, where Julius Caesar fought against Pompey. But these offers which serve not for his vantage, he shakes off, and so should you.
Your ships are not well manned. Your mariners are muleteers, reapers, people engrossed by swift impress. In Caesar's fleet are those that often have against Pompey fought. Their ships are yours heavy. No disgrace shall fall you for refusing him at sea, being prepared for land.
By sea.
Most worthy sir,
You therein throw away the absolute soldiership you have by land. Distract your army, which doth most consist of war-marked footmen. Leave unexecuted your own renowned knowledge, and in fine, give up yourself merely to chance and hazard from firm security.
I'll fight at sea.
I have 60 sails, Caesar none better.
Our overplus of shipping will we burn, and with the rest full manned, from the head of Actium beat the approaching Caesar. Well, if we fail, we then can do it at land. Thy business.
The news is true, my lord. He is descried. Caesar has taken Torini.
Can he be there in person? 'Tis impossible. Canidius, our 19 legions thou shalt hold by land, and our 10,000 horse. We'll to our ship. Away, my Thetis.
By Hercules, I think I am in the right.
Soldier thou art. But this whole action grows not in the parent. So our leaders led, and we are women's men. The speed of Caesar's carries beyond belief.
Who's his lieutenant, hear you?
They say one Taurus.
My lord. Strike not by land, keep whole, provoke not battle till we have done at sea. Do not exceed the prescript of this scroll. Our fortune lies upon this jump.
Set we our squadrons on yon side of the hill in eye of Caesar's battle, from which place we may the number of the ships behold, and so proceed accordingly.
Naught! Naught! All naught! I can behold no longer. The Antoniad, the Egyptian admiral, and all their 60 fly and turn the rudder. To see it, mine eyes are blasted.
Gods and goddesses, all the whole synod of them!
What's thy passion?
The greater cantle of the world is lost with very ignorance. We have kissed away kingdoms and provinces.
How appears the fight?
On our side, like the token pestilence, where death is sure. Yon ribaldred nag of Egypt, whom leprosy o'ertake, in the midst of the fight, the breeze upon her, like a cow in June, hoists sails and flies.
That I beheld. Mine eyes did sicken at the sight, and could not endure a further view.
She, once being loofed, the noble ruin of her magic Antony, claps on his sea wing, and, like a doting mallard, leaving the fight in height, flies after her. I never saw an action of such shame. Experience, manhood, honor, ne'er before it violate so itself. Our fortune on the sea is out of breath, and sinks most lamentably. Had our general been what he knew himself, it had gone well. Oh, he has given example for our flight most grossly by his own.
Aye, are you thereabouts? Then good night indeed.
Towards Peloponnesus are they fled. Well, there I will attend what further comes. To Caesar will I render my legions and my horse. 6 kings already show me the way of yielding.
I'll yet follow the wounded chance of Antony.
Though my reason sits in the wind against me.
Hark. The land bids me tread no more upon it. It is ashamed to bear me. Friends, come hither. I am so lated in the world that I have lost my way forever. I have a ship laden with gold. Take that, divide it, fly, and make your peace with Caesar.
Why? Not we.
I have fled myself, and have instructed cowards to run and show their shoulders. Friends, begone. My treasure's in the harbor. Take it. Oh, I followed that I blush to look upon. My very hairs to mutiny. For the white reprove the brown for rashness, and they them for fear and doting. Friends, be gone. You shall have letters from me to some friends that will sweep your way for you. Pray, look not sad, nor make replies of loathness. Take the hint which my despair proclaims. Let that be left which leads itself. To the seaside straightway I will possess you of that ship and treasure. Leave me, I pray, a little. Pray you now. Nay, do so, for indeed I have lost command. Therefore, I pray you. I'll see you by and by.
Nay, gentle madam, to him. Comfort him.
Do, most dear queen, do. Why, what else?
Let me sit down. Oh, Juno.
No, 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 no.
See you here, sir.
Oh, fie! Fie! Fie!
Madam, oh, good empress.
Sir. Sir.
Yes, my lord, yes. He at Philippi kept his sword in like a dancer, whilst I smashed the lean and wrinkled Cassius. And was I the mad Brutus ended? He alone dealt in lieutenantry and no practice had in the brave squares of war. Yet no matter.
I'll stand by.
The queen, my lord. The queen.
Go to him, madam. Speak to him. He is unqualified with very shame.
Well, then sustain me. Oh.
Most noble sir, arise, the queen approaches. Her head's declined, and death will seize, but your comfort makes.
I have offended reputation. A most noble swerving.
Sir, the queen.
Whither hast thou led me, Egypt? See how I convey my shame out of thine eyes by looking back what I have left behind, destroyed in dishonor.
Oh, my lord, my lord. Forgive my fearful tears. I little thought you would have followed.
Egypt, thou knewst too well my heart was to thy rudder tied by the strings, and thou shouldst tow me after. Oh, my spirit, thy full supremacy thou knewst, and that thy beck might from the pity of the gods command me.
Oh, my pardon.
Now I must to the young man send humble treaties, dodge and palter in the shifts of loners who, with half the bulk of the world, played as I pleased, making and marring fortune. You did know how much you were my conqueror, and that my sword made weak by my affection would obey it on all cause.
Pardon, pardon.
Fall not a tear, I say. One of them rates all that is won and lost. Give me a kiss. Even this repays me. We sent a schoolmaster. Is it come back? Oh, love, I am full of lead. Some wine within there, and our viands. Fortune knows. We scorn her most when most she offers blows.
Let him appear that's come from Antony. Know you him?
Caesar. 'Tis his schoolmaster. An argument that he is plucked when hither he sends so poor opinion of his wing, which had superfluous kings for messengers, not many moons gone by.
Approach and speak.
Such as I am, I come from Antony. I was of late as petty to his ends as is the morn dew on the myrtle leaf to his grand sea.
Be it so. Declare thine office.
Lord of his fortunes, he salutes thee, and requires to live in Egypt, which not granted, he lessens his requests, and to thee sues to let him breathe between the heavens and earth a private man in Athens. This for him. Next, Cleopatra does confess thy greatness, submits her to thy might, and of thee craves the circle of the Ptolemies for her heirs, now hazarded to thy grace.
For Antony, I have no ears to his request. The queen of audience nor desire shall fail, so she from Egypt drive her all-disgraced friend, or take his life there. This if she perform, she shall not sue unheard. So to them both.
Fortune pursue thee.
Bring him through the bands. To try thy eloquence now 'tis time, dispatch. From Antony win Cleopatra. Promise, and in our name, what she requires. Women are not in their best fortunes strong, but want will perjure the ne'er-touched vestal. Try thy cunning, Phidias. Make thine own edict for thy pains, which we will answer as a law.
Caesar, I go.
Observe how Antony becomes his flaw. And what thou thinkst, his very action speaks in every power that moves.
Caesar, I shall.
What shall we do in about this?
Think and die.
Is Antony or we in fault for this?
Antony only. What would make his will lord of his reason? What though you fled from that great face of war whose several ranges frighted each other? Why should he follow? The itch of his affection should not then have nicked his captainship. Was a shame no lesson was his loss to course your flying flags and leave his navy gazing.
Prithee, peace.
Is that his answer? Aye, my lord. The queen shall then have courtesy, so she will yield us up.
He says so. Let her know it.
To the boy Caesar, send this grizzled head, and he will fill thy wishes to the brim with principalities.
That head, my lord.
To him again. Tell him he wears the rose of youth upon him, from which the world should note something particular. His coins, ships, legions may be a coward's. I'll dare him, therefore, to lay his gay comparisons apart and answer me, decline sword against sword, ourselves alone. I'll write it. Follow me.
Yes, like enough, high-battled Caesar will unstate his happiness and be staged to the show against a sworder. Caesar, thou hast subdued his judgment, too.
A messenger from Caesar.
What? No more ceremony. See, my women, against the blown rose may they stop their nose that kneeled unto the buds. Admit him, sir.
My loyalty and I begin to square. A loyalty well held to fools does make our faith mere folly. Yet he that can endure to follow with allegiance a fallen lord does conquer him that did his master conquer, and earn a place of the story.
Caesar's will.
Hear it apart.
None but friends say boldly.
So haply are they friends to Antony.
He needs as many, sir, as Caesar has, or needs not us. If Caesar please, our master will leap to be his friend. For us, you know, whose he is we are, and that is Caesar's.
So, thus then, thou most renowned, Caesar entreats not to consider in what case thou standst further than he is Caesar.
Go on, right royal.
He knows that you embrace not Antony as you did love, but as you feared him.
Oh?
The scars upon your honor, therefore, he does pity as constrained blemishes, not as deserved.
He is a god and knows what is most right. Mine honor was not yielded, but conquered merely.
To be sure of that, I will ask Antony. Sir, sir, thou art so leaky, we must leave thee to thy sinking, for thy dearest quit thee.
Shall I say to Caesar what you require of him? For he partly begs to be desired to give. It much would please him that of his fortunes you should make a staff to lean upon. But it would warm his spirits to hear from me you had left Antony and put yourself under his shroud, the universal landlord.
What's your name?
My name is Phidias.
Most noble messenger, say unto great Caesar this in deputation. I kiss his conquering hand. Tell him I am prompt to lay my crown at his feet and there to kneel. Tell him from his all-obeying breath I hear the doom of Egypt.
'Tis your noblest course. Give me grace to lay my duty on your hand.
Your Caesar's uncle oft, when he hath mused of taking kingdoms in, bestowed his lips on that unworthy place, as it rained kisses.
Favored by Jove that thunders. What art thou, fellow?
One that but performs the bidding of the fullest man, and worthiest to have command obeyed.
You will be whipped. Approach there! You kite. Now, gods and devils' authority melts from me of late. Have you no ears? I am Antony yet! Take hence this jack, and whip him. Stars, whip him! Were there 20 of the greatest tributaries that do acknowledge Caesar, should I find them so saucy with the hand of she here? What's her name? Since she was Cleopatra. Whip him, fellows, till like a boy you see him cringe his face and whine aloud for mercy. Take him hence, Mark Antony. Tug him away. Being whipped, bring him again. The jack of Caesar shall bear us an errand to him. You are blasted, ere I knew you. Oh. Have I my pillow left unpressed in Rome? Forborne the getting of a lawful race, and by a gem of women, to be abused by one that looks on feeders? Good my lord. You have been a boggler ever. But when we in our viciousness grow hard, oh misery on it, the wise gods seal our eyes. In our own filth drop our clear judgments, make us adore our errors, laugh at us while we strut to our confusion.
Ah, is it come to this?
I found you as a morsel cold upon dead Caesar's trencher. Nay, you were a fragment of Gnaeus Pompey's. Besides, what hotter hours, unregistered in vulgar fame, you have luxuriously picked out. For I am sure, though you can guess what temperance should be, you know not what it is.
Wherefore?
You let a fellow that will take rewards and say, God quit you. Be familiar with my playfellow, your hand. This kingly seal and plight of high heart. Oh, that I were upon the hill of Bashan to outroar the horned herd, but I am savage cause. Is he whipped?
Soundly, my lord.
Cried he? Have begged a pardon?
He did ask favor.
If that thy father live, let him repent thou wast not made his daughter. And be thou sorry to follow Caesar in his triumph, since thou hast been whipped for following. Henceforth the white hand of a lady fever thee, sake thou don't look on it. Get thee back to Caesar. Tell him thy entertainment. Look, thou say, he makes me angry with him. For he seems proud and disdainful, harping on what I am, not what he knew I was. He makes me angry. And at this time, most easy just to do it. When my good stars, that were my former guides, have empty left their orbs and shot their fires into the abysm of hell. Hence with thy stripes, be gone!
Have you done yet?
Our terrene moon is now eclipsed, and it portends alone the fall of Antony.
Not know me yet.
Cold-hearted toward me.
Ah, dear. If I be so, from my cold heart let heaven engender hail and poison it in the source. And the first stone drop in my neck. As it determines, so dissolve my life the next Caesarian smite. Till by degrees the memory of my womb, together with my brave Egyptians, all by the discandering of this pelleted storm lie graveless. Till the flies and gnats of Nile have buried them for prey.
I am satisfied. Caesar sits down in Alexandria, where I will oppose his fate. Our force by land is nobly held. Our separate navy, too, have knit again, and fleet, threatening most sea-like. Where has thou been, my heart? Is thou here, lady? If from the field I shall return once more, to kiss these lips I will appear in blood. I and my sword will earn our chronicle.
That's my brave lord.
I will be triple-hearted, sinewed breast, and fight maliciously. For when mine hours were nice and lucky, men have ransomed lives of me for jests. But now, I'll set my teeth and send to darkness all that stop me. Come, let's have one other gaudy night. Call my sad captains, fill our bowls once more. Let's mock the midnight bell.
It is my birthday. Oh. I thought to have held it poor. But since my lord is Antony again, I will be Cleopatra.
We will yet do well.
Call all his nobles captains to my lord.
To do so, I'll speak to them. And tonight I'll force the wine peep through their scars. Come on, the queen. There's sacrilege yet. The next time I do fight, I'll make death love me. For I will contend, even with his pestilent scythe.
Now he'll outstare the lightning. To be furious is to be frighted out of fear, and in that mood the dove will peck the ostrich. And I see still a diminution in our captain's brain restores his heart. When valor preys on reason, it eats the sword it fights with. I will seek some way to leave him.
He calls me boy, and chides as he had power to beat me out of Egypt. My messenger he hath whipped with rods dares me to personal combat, Caesar to Antony. Let the old ruffian know I have many other ways to die. Meantime, laugh at his challenge.
Caesar must think when one so great begins to rage, he's hunted even to falling.
Let our best heads know that tomorrow the last of many battles we mean to fight. Within our files there are of those that served Mark Antony of late enough to fetch him in. See it done. And feast the army. We have store to do it, and they've earned the waste. Poor Antony.